NC pork. Good for the plate, great for the steak.
Our next guest has been a successful head coach at Chattanooga, VCU, LSU, and most recently McNeese State. He's still only 42 years old, but now we get to introduce him as the first-year head coach of the NC State Wolfpack. Will Wade, welcome to the North Carolina Sports Network, Coach. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, David.
It's great to have you. Hey, most coaches in my almost 4 decades covering this league love to temper down expectations for various reasons. You tend to just poke that idea in the eye and say things like, I think we are an NCAA tournament team. I think we should be in the top 25. Why?
Because we're good. I mean, when you got a good team, there's no need to talk around it. I mean, if I didn't think we were any good, I'd get in here and tell you we stink. But we don't. I mean, we got good players. We got a good group. We've come together well. Our guys enjoy being with each other, enjoy playing with each other. And I really like what I see from this group. And there's no reason that every year NC State shouldn't be in the NCAA tournament. There's no reason that every year we shouldn't compete at the top of the ACC, and that's our job to get that done and make that happen. But, you know, if we weren't any good, I'd sit here and tell you, but we are good. We've got a good team, and we're going to be a good team, and we're going to be in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to tell you that too.
Wolfpack Nation's had a handful of months to get to know you a little bit better, but since this is your first visit with us, what is that sort of 50,000 feet view of what you want Wolfpack basketball to be during the Will Wade era?
I want our program to be a reflection of our university, a reflection of our fans. I mean, we want to be blue collar, we want to be gritty, we want to be tough, we want to play with maximum effort every possession. You know, we want to fight for every floorboard, every inch of the court, every night, both offensively and defensively. So we want to be something that's a source of pride for our fans. It's a source of pride for our school. And, you know, we really want to be something that everybody in the NC State, you know, family can recognize and identify with.
I've known Wolfpack Nation for a long time, and they tend to like personalities that are willing to poke the bear a little bit. You clearly don't hesitate to poke the bear, including with, you know, those guys down the road were too dumb to play Van Allen Lubin more minutes. And I loved your stats, by the way. When he plays more than 28 minutes, he averages 15 and 8. Just tell us, were you that way as a little kid? Is that like just part of who you are? Because it is different than most of what we see around here.
No, I just try to tell you honestly what I think, tell you the truth. I mean, Ben's one of 2 players in the country that has a true shooting percentage of 69%, 2 high major players in the country, true shooting percentage of 69% and a rebounding rate of 16%. He has one of the top 5 shooting percentages in ACC history from last year. So, I mean, he's a really, really good player, and I think that we can use him probably a little bit better than he's been used. And so, you know, we'll see if I'm right or not, but I think we're going to be right.
Another of your many quotes that has intrigued me is you said, paraphrasing, hey, I want to give NC State the passion and competitiveness that I have delivered in other places, but without, and this is your word, without the arrogance that got me in trouble at LSU. How would you paint that broader picture? That sounds like a pretty profound statement.
You know, look, we want to be who we are. You can't change who you are, but, you know, there's a fine line between, you know, being confident and being arrogant. And arrogance when you think, you know, you can just do or say whatever and there's no repercussions. And confidence is, you know, knowing that you're doing things, you know, the right way and knowing that you can operate at a high level and letting everybody know that without crossing that line. And so, you know, I definitely have crossed the line in the past, but we've got great support here, and, you know, I've got great administrative support from Boo and our administration. We meet, you know, every other week to make sure that we're all in check and doing what we need to do.
Part of your transparency has been sharing a lot of things about good and bad, and I saw you recently shared about rock bottom, whatever that was for you, whether it was related to the NCAA stuff or something else in life. You know, there's a lot of folks with mental health issues out there, a lot of folks trying to rebound from whatever last adversity happened. What was your message about your personal rock bottom and how you responded to it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I tell our team this, but I believe this because I've been through it. You've always got to be tougher in your circumstances. So whatever the circumstances are, you've always got to be tougher and find a way to overcome those circumstances. So you can recreate those circumstances and not let those circumstances recreate you. And so you've got to, the only way through a hurricane straight through the eye. You're not going to, if you start backing up in a hurricane, the hurricane's going to last longer, and the bands are going to stay on you and stay on you. If you just go straight through that son of a gun, then you can get to the other side a little bit quicker. It's going to be rough, but you're going to be able to get to the other side a little bit quicker. And so, that's really just being tougher than your circumstances and being able to move forward and get to the other side from tough situations.
Relationships matter. They have to trust that you'll pay the bill. All coaches talk about relationships. What did you mean by that broader statement?
Well, we were talking about in terms of NIL. They were talking about recruiting, and I mean, look, yeah, you're not going to be the highest bidder for every player. That's just the way it works. But there also has to be a trust factor that somebody may be, blowing smoke and saying they're going to do this and saying they're going to do that. I mean,
there's lawsuits out there.
Yeah, trust and being a man of your word and being able to follow through on your word is still important in recruiting. It's not just all, whoever's going to pay the most.
Thanks for sharing all that. I don't have you as long today as I would have you in some other contexts, so I'll skip forward to some other things. I'm a huge Carolina Hurricanes fan. I grew up in Philadelphia, so I'm a hockey guy. And, of course, you share an arena with the Carolina Hurricanes. Super cool that you sounded the siren during the playoff game last year. You have a pretty complicated job description. Have you had a chance to, meet Wolfpack fan Rod Brindamore or just lean into the whole Hurricanes hockey world as you're trying to build the Wolfpack's basketball program?
Oh, yeah. I was actually texting with the owner earlier this week, Tom, and I'm going to go to the game Thursday night.
Nice.
With him.
The opener.
And so, yeah, the opener. And we're trying to get Coach over to speak to our team. And so we're working through that to get Coach over to speak to the team. I know he's in a busy session, but in a busy part of his season, and we're getting in a busy part of our season. But he's an incredible speaker. He's an incredible leader. He's done a phenomenal job with the Canes. And that playoff hockey is something else.
I'm not sure I'm telling you something you don't know, but Rod Brindamore is an old friend of mine. You know he married a Wolfpack girl, and that her dad is Eddie Biedenbaugh, former Wolfpack assistant. So you know that whole combination, right? There's a lot of intertwining between the Canes and the Pack.
Oh, yeah. And Coach Biedenbach, he's been in practice quite a bit. He comes to practice a couple times a week whenever he's in town, which is quite often. He comes over from Wilmington, and so it's been great to have him around the program as well.
True or false, first team all Big 12 guy, Darian Williams, can be first team all ACC guy?
True.
Thanks. You gave me a one-word answer. That's all I asked for. Seth Greenberg of ESPN mentioned this about you and your personality. Will has Duke over here, Carolina over there, and he really doesn't give a bleep. Would you agree with that and elaborate on it?
Well, I think what we need to do is focus on ourselves. I think sometimes people get so caught up in focusing on everybody else. Why don't we focus on NC State and maximize what we have at NC State? And then once we maximize that, then we can start comparing ourselves to other people or start comparing to other things that are going on. But I don't think we've maximized everything we've got here. I happen to believe that if we maximize everything that we have at NC State, we're going to be as good as anybody in our state. We're going to be as good as anybody in our region and as anybody in the country. And so our focus on maximizing NC State every day.
This is a really fun first visit on the David Glenn Show and the North Carolina Sports Network. Thank you and good luck with the rest of this car wash here.
Thanks so much, David.